All right, I posted a short earlier this morning about my Saturday fun. On my way home last night, I had a wheel bearing let go on my vehicle. I'll show you the bearing and the rotor on it, because the bearing let go and then I noticed something on the rotor. I'm changing the rotor as well. Brake pads are perfect, so I'm not going to bother with those. But this is what I had happen to me last night. On my way home, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there, it's missing probably 2 bearings, roller bearings. The back plate come off, the whole works. It's a four-wheel drive Ford Expedition 2006, Eddie Bauer. So I heard that let go last night. It changed from going down the road to a grinding sound. I had metal on the inside of the rim. Well, at the same time, when I was tearing this apart, as you can see on this, it don't look the greatest. The rotor itself is starting to delaminate. Oh, be quiet back there. So I went to O'Reilly's, got a brand new hub bearing, wheel bearing assembly. It comes with the ABS sensor and the whole works, so it's all plug and play, and a new rotor. So I'm going to put those on. I didn't record on taking it apart because I didn't think you guys wanted to see it, but evidently one of the subscribers does. So I will show you putting it back together. But putting it back together, just reverse everything. That way, I'll still explain how I took it apart. Matter of fact, let's do that right now. All right, let's see here. All right, here it is all apart. That's my axle shaft for the four-wheel drive. Your 4 bolts. What I wound up doing, of course, you gotta take the tire off. Take the tire off, then I took the 2 bolts out, one here, and another one back up here, off the brake caliper. Took that whole thing right off. Then tied up the caliper out of the way. Then there's a 13 mil, is it 13? Let's see here, what's it say on there? Yeah, 13 millimeter. There's a 13 millimeter nut right here you have to take off. Because if not, you're not going to slide it off because it's still attached to the axle. You take that off. Let me back up. You take the tire off, your brake caliper off, then you knock your rotor off. Again, my rotor was junk, so I just left it on. There's 4 bolts, 18 millimeter bolts back here. 1, 2, actually I'll show you on the front side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You take those 4 out, take this 13 millimeter nut off, and the whole thing slides off. Now, to put it back together, I'm just going to reverse it. Slide it on, put the 13 millimeter on to hold the hub, then line it up to these gears. I'm going to put more grease in here just to protect that. Then I'm going to put in the bolts here, tighten it all up, put the rotor on, the caliper. Oh, and there's one other thing you got to do too. On my vehicle, way up here, right here, you can't, I don't know if you can see it or not. Right here is my ABS plug. You got to unplug that, take it off as well. So that's one step I forgot to mention. But you put it all together, plug in your ABS, put your rotor on, put your tire on, and you're done. But let's put it back together and I'll go through it with you. All right, I'll see you in a few. Okay, let's get ready to put some more grease back in there, as I said I was going to. But I noticed something. I want to show you. You see that right there? Look. Look at that. That is part of the old bearing. You do not want to leave that in there. So, I gotta clean this out before I pack more grease in there. I don't want to put metal in there and it cause the bearing to fail prematurely. So, all right, I gotta clean this out and I'll show you the after. All right, let you know, all this metal here and this was from here on the old bearing. This outside piece and this ring right here was gone. That's what all that metal was from. All right, let's get this new one installed. I'll set you up and we'll get going. Ouch. All right. Again, new hub, ABS cable. Make sure it is up and down, straight up and down, the way it was. Okay, there we go. That's set in there. Pull the axle through. All right, where is that? Here's that 13mm nut I was talking about. Make sure it's clean before you put it on there. This is what holds your axle to the hub. Believe it or not, just this little nut right here. All right. Okay, next step. 14mm, the 18mm bolts. However, I am one of those people that, even though I'm probably never going to do it again, replace these again, I just put just a small dab of anti-seize on there. We're gonna put it through this one here. Sometimes you gotta move it, adjust it just enough to get the threads to start. There we go. There's that one. All right, I'll get the other three taken care of and I'll bring you back. Before I go any further, I'm gonna get this connected. ABS line. All right, I'll get it connected and I'll show you how, and then I'll go through how I did it. All right, see you in a bit. All right, got the ABS wire run from here through the dust shield to that clip, that clip, that clip, that clip, that clip. There's another clip back here. And then finally, it's connected up here. Always run it through the factory routing unless there's a recall. Put it right back where it was, because that way it keeps it out from getting damaged. So I'm going to tighten up those 4 bolts on the back. I'll bring it back. Okay, all 4 are snugged up. Of course, I don't have a torque wrench or anything like that for specs, but she's torqued to impact. I did not overdo it. Sorry, I didn't overdo it, but now I like that. I got no movement whatsoever. That's normal. This, nothing up and down. Excellent. All right, I'll get the rotor on and we'll go from there. You always want to clean the surface of your rotors of dirt, grease, stuff like that. Makes your vehicle stop a lot easier. All right, let's get the caliper on. Get quite warm out here. Wow. There we go. All right, I got, let's see. I don't know if you can see it or not. Got that one in and this one down here. These are the 2 that holds the caliper on. Those are on, snugged up. Only thing left is put the tire on. All right, let's have at it. One more thing before I put the tire on. All right, where is it? Right here. This little nut right here. Make sure it's tight. There we go. That's tight. Good. Now let's get the tire on. I got to start the vehicle up, straighten the wheel out, so it's a lot easier. All right. Only one thing left to do. Test drive. All right. ABS light's off now. That wheel bearing going out took out the ABS. I literally just backed up 20 feet and pulled ahead about 40 feet. ABS light's out. Let's go test drive, see if I hear any more crunching noise. It should be gone. Right now, my initial thoughts, beautiful. It handles a lot better too. I can move the steering wheel back and forth and it's pretty responsive. Not a delay, not a wiggle, stuff like that. So we'll call it a success. I'll go home, go in the house, I get back to the house. I gotta pick up all the tools, stuff like that. Park my wife's vehicle, because I had to use her vehicle to go get the part. And then I'll park my vehicle. Call it a day for this video. I hope it was helpful. Sorry I didn't record the tearing it apart, disassembly, but just reverse what I did. Watch the video basically from back to front, and that's how it goes. Just reverse all the steps I took, put it together. That's how you tear it apart. All right, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. How's that?